Hey guys, welcome back to Bean Soldier TV. So today we're going to actually be doing a video kind of related back to all the stuff from the extravaganza. You guys have been absolutely insane. This is like the most interaction that I've ever gotten from a video ever. So again, if you're from Coder's channel, welcome. If you're back from another video, welcome back. You guys had a lot of questions about the Sky Striker Eldlich deck profile that we had done before, and I want to clear the air of a bunch of stuff. I want to show you some combos. I want to answer your questions, all that fun stuff. And I kind of want this to be like a forum. If you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll hopefully have the chance to answer them in the future if you have any questions. So let's get right into it. So, starting things off with my matchups from the extravaganza, round 1 was against Drytron, round 2, Dino. The next 3 rounds were all Drytron, one of which I lost to in round 5, followed by Salamangrate, another True King Dino player, and finishing off the extravaganza with Dogmatica Eldlich. So, I don't play Hornet Drones or Upstart anymore. I used to. The deck is built in a way where Striker kind of helps out Eldlich more than you're playing more of a Striker strategy. I used to play it, and again, like, Hornet Drones wasn't that high of an impact card, which to many Striker players that's going to sound really weird, but you don't need it, especially since you have so many ways to get to rate anyway. And for the Upstart part of it, that's what my Foolish Burial Goods was, because Foolish Burial Goods, not only is it able to dump a Striker spell, but it's also able to start the Eldlich engine, which is a lot more powerful than giving your opponent 1,000 life points and just mulliganing a card. As far as siding goes, typically I only side 2 to 3 cards. Again, it's really matchup dependent, and it's also meta dependent. So, for example, with the meta right now, I'm not siding that much against any deck that isn't Virtual World or Drytron, just because every other matchup is a lot easier to deal with, especially since you have so many cards in your main that already deal with a lot of rogue matchups. Typically, some of the first cards that I take out are cards like Card of Demise, which aren't phenomenal going second. I also take out the Foolish Burial Goods. I know it's a consistency card, but it's, again, not phenomenal going second. You can also start cutting cards like Called By, one of the Widows, one of the Shark Cannons, or also a Conquistador. So you start slowly chipping away at the main engines, and again, it's all dependent on what you feel would be best for those specific interactions. So if you feel like taking out a Shark Cannon, take out a Shark Cannon. If you feel like taking out a Widow, take out a Widow. Again, it's your call depending on what you're seeing in the deck you're going against. By far, one of the best Dragoon Outs, or even the best Dragoon bait, is an Eldlich Affecting Grave. So even if they negate it, they're not going to get that 1,000 attack boost, so you can start taking all their stuff from Grave. You can start Widow anchoring things to build up to more outs. So like Access Code's a fantastic out. BLS is a fantastic out. If some way you have a way to summon Zeus, Zeus is a fantastic out. You also have a few main deck outs as well. So if you have IDP, so like if you do end up baiting out that that Dragoon negate with Eldlich, just IDP it right afterwards. You also have droplets, and again, you can take stuff from your opponent's grave with Shark Cannon that also might be able to deal with their Dragoon as well. So if they have something that sends a card, you can deal with Dragoon that way. So you have a bunch of different ways where you can get creative to deal with Dragoon, but you have a lot of outs. As far as the Virtual World matchup goes, typically Virtual World is a really bad matchup for Eldlich, like pure Eldlich. Just because of the fact that like Shen banishes things and Chuche just pops the back row. Virtual World for Striker Eldlich, though, is a lot easier to deal with because of the Striker cards. So your biggest issues are Chuche, Alive Chuche, as well as Shen. So the nice thing, you have Shark Cannon to banish your Shen, so you literally never have to deal with it again. And you can also Eldlich send the Chuche to grave. So You also have a lot of ways to deal with their cards in grave, so you have things to banish stuff when they go for Lao Lao. Again, you have so much removal and negation that it's really hard for a virtual world player to play through things, especially also through strike. Again, the other thing that's really nice about it too, you don't have to worry about calamities like at all. This deck does not care about calamities one bit. So a little bit of the theory on Zeus. So for those of you that have played like Striker even for a little bit, you'll know about like the Selene package where like Effect Veiler, blah blah blah, Access Code, Go Burr, all that fun stuff. Because Veiler is so bad this format, and I didn't want to play any hand traps, I just decided to cut the Selene package altogether. So trying to fill out the extra deck was a little hard, and I remembered back when, again, it was an Orcus format, where Striker would Shark Cannon to Galatea and then boom, Dingirsu and get a free send. Zeus is quite literally even better Dingirsu, because you can do this with any Xyz. I wouldn't be surprised if this genuinely becomes a staple in Striker, because of how versatile this card is. Genuinely, this card is really nice. Again, basically just being evenly matched on legs for whenever you want against any deck that uses Xyz. Again, kind of going back to the virtual world stuff, you can really punish them with a Zeus as well. Okay, so yes, there are some very glaring issues with the deck. Yes, Eldlich needs monsters in the main monster zone to do things, and Striker needs things not in the main monster zone to do things. So all this kind of boils down to is knowing exactly what to do with your board state. On your turn, how are you always going to make sure that you don't have any monsters in your main monster zone if you do have Striker spells? Or vice versa. Just trying to figure out how to manipulate your board state to what you need it to be. So for you math fans, order of operations in general, and this is not for every single board state, but in general, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be activating your Striker stuff first, followed by your Eldlich cards. Usually the Striker cards are big enough of an inconvenience to the opponent that your Eldlich back row and your Eldlich cards are so much of a blowout that they can't continue. That's just not even to say that you don't have IDP set. That's not even to say you have Droplets or Strike or any of your generic back row as well. So again, in general, Striker stuff first, Eldlich stuff second. But again, it's so much of a how big can you like big brain your opponent with the cards that you have available to you. So don't be afraid to get creative. Most of the matches that you're going to be winning, you're going to be doing something that you've literally never done before. This is probably the number one question that was asked on both of our videos. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you how the actual combo works instead of me just explaining it. So let's just go ahead and go through it. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to activate your Curse Outland, searching out a copy of Golden Boy. You're then going to activate Area 0. Area 0 will target the Outland, and let's just assume that you hit off of it and like grab a Shark Cannon. It literally doesn't matter as long as you hit. That will send your Outland to the grave. And Outland will send you a copy of usually Haquero, because that's the one that you least use right off the bat on turn 1, because you'd rather have Conquistador set going in blind game 1. So you'll send a Haquero. From then, you will activate the Eldlich effect in hand, sending any copy, any card, whatever you feel is best. In this case, we'll just send the Shark Cannon, targeting the Area 0. And I think this is where a lot of confusion came up. So it's the Eldlich effect in hand that is sending the Area 0, not the Eldlich effect from grave. If you use the Eldlich effect from grave sending Area 0, 0 does not trigger since Eldlich is a cost. Area 0 needs to be sent to the grave by a card effect. So Area 0 goes to grave, triggering, and then you get the special Ray from the deck. From here, you'll link off the Ray, go into Gagari, grab the Striker spell that we just sent to the grave, So we'll grab back the Shark Cannon, or if you want the Area 0 back, you can get that as well. Go into your Shizuku. And then end phase, you'll get the Shizuku Search. You'll also be able to banish your Aquero and set your Sanguine. Again, you still have 2 other cards in your hand. So we have the Striker spell that we got, as well as the Sanguine, and you have 3 other back row. So it's usually Shizuku set 5. If you made it this far in the video, again, thank you so much for especially all the support that you guys have given to the channel. Like, we've literally doubled subscribers over the past week, and like that absolutely blows my mind. So thank you guys for showing some love. I really appreciate it. I hope that this video kind of clears up a lot of the questions that you guys had, and hopefully makes you guys better Striker Eldlich players. I've been super pumped that this deck has been everywhere on DB over the past week, and that's really exciting. I guess like the whole point of doing like this deck profile stuff was because I really wanted to see how you guys were gonna innovate this deck, because by all means, this deck is not solved yet, so I love to see the innovations that you guys have. If you have any more questions about the deck or anything in general, go ahead and comment them down below. I'm sure there's some things that people didn't ask that they have questions about. You can also DM me on Discord. My Discord link is in the description of the video. But with that being said, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!